Life in the fast lane, everybody. We are back with another episode, and I like this one. This is going to be a good episode today. But first, how we doing?
I'm wonderful, Mr. Kyle Parks. How are you?
I'm always great.
Yep, it's a good day, Tater.
Oh.
It's gonna be a good day. So, okay, we're gonna jump straight into this one because this is right up my freaking alley.
I wouldn't mind actually doing one similar to this topic, or just doing this topic, but with your dad.
Yeah, I can see
that would be actually a really, because him and I have had some very good conversations when you guys went to the dealer day for Belmont, him and I were here because I think you guys took the flex. There wasn't enough room, or there was something going on. But he was like, it's probably best if I just stay back. And he stayed here, and him and I went to Bahama Mike's, and we had a really, really good conversation about kind of worrying about the company and things, this and that, when it comes to business. And, like I told him, I was like, my biggest problem when I was running my company is I was not obsessive enough.
Right.
When it came to getting to that next, like just clawing to that next step and things like that. So I like this one because I've turned myself around in the way of becoming obsessive with things in life again.
Yeah. So here's how I see it. Okay, I'm just going to tell you exactly how I feel, and you guys are probably going to be very upset with me after I tell you this, but whatever, get over it. Passion's for pussies. It truly is. People talk about passion. Dude, okay, it's like love. Love comes and it goes. What gets you through is
the tough times.
Through the tough times is your obsession for that other person, for your business. Because like anybody can jump into something when they're happy-go-lucky and they're ready to rock and roll, and oh, this is great, and let's rock it. We're gonna kill it. We're gonna crush it. This relationship's gonna be amazing. You're so beautiful. Oh, I love you so much. What happens when the newness dies off?
Yeah.
Then something has to take over.
The newness dies off, or you go through, and women go through really tough times when it comes to like postpartum. Postpartum is very hard on women, but sometimes, I'm not going to say the love dies off, but things get very rough because they don't know how to control everything or what's going on in their life anymore. And it can get rough. They aren't happy with their bodies. They aren't happy with this. They aren't happy with that. And, like I tell Chloe all the time, I am obsessed with her. I talk about her and Malin all the time. And she's like, no, you don't. I'm like, go to work and ask them right now.
It's nonstop.
Yeah, I talk about them all the time, and I am obsessed with them, and I love them to death, and like I can't wait till. It's not that I can't wait to get off work because I'm obsessed with what I do at work because I really enjoy it. And like I've told you, is you have a vision and a goal that you have painted for me. Even though I wasn't working here, I wanted to push Dawson even though I wasn't here.
Right.
So like I wanted to be a part. That's why I came here and helped when I didn't have anything else, is because I wanted to help push this further too.
And the reason it's cool is because I painted a crazy picture.
Yeah.
And that's all there is.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of obsessive comes with a bad connotation of like it's not good for you. And I know you and I are a little different. It's just like people go into their 9 to 5, and I think it's best that we do it 8 to 5. Because you have that hour if you can relax, you can be a person, and it's your personal time. But we do 8 to 5. Lunches aren't paid, which I personally like. And you're working from 8 to 12.
Yep.
You have your lunch, and then you're working from 1 to 5.
Yep.
And I think that paints a great picture for us, is that we have to be obsessive with our work, and then we have that time to kind of mess around. So I don't know.
Yeah, no. So the obsession and going through the day-to-day stuff like you were just talking about creates momentum. Yeah. And this momentum is key to the success of a company. It's key to the relationships in the company, or in the relationships of the people that you're with all the time at home, whatever. And what ultimately builds that momentum and helps with the obsession is consistency. Consistency is key. And whenever I talk about obsession, I mean that you have worked through every detail. I'm going to give you my crazy version of obsession. So I have a vision of where I want my life to be. Now, have I hit it? No. Am I where I want to be right now? No. I am in the process of getting there, right? And Do I want to be there right now? Duh. I wanted to be
We
there
all want to
5 years ago. Of course I wanted to be there. Right, you're right. We all want to be there. But that's not how that works. And you literally can't skip a step. You can't. If you jump over a stepping stone, more than likely, okay, you think of it this way. You got a stream in front of you, right? You want to get across. There's a bunch of stones to get across, but they're slick, right? It's normal. That's how it is. Slick means you don't quite understand what's about to be.
It's an unknown terrain, or
Right.
It's an unknown added. I'm not gonna say a problem, because there's always a solution to a problem.
Correct.
So it's something that you just have to overcome.
Correct. But the first few stones, because they're kind of near the bank, they're not as wet, and so you're excited. You're like, woo, look, jumped on one, woo, jumped on another. It's that newness, like in a new relationship or a new business. You're fired up, you're ready to go. Well, now you're down in the weeds. You're down near the water, and the water's created these slick stones because the tide's gone up, it's gone down. It's got mold, mildew all over it.
Splashing,
And it's also because a lot of people don't travel this road.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the moss hasn't worn off. So you have to stay obsessed with getting across that river, because it will serve you when you get there, and that obsession is what's going to allow you to push through to the next stepping stone. The next stepping stone is going to be slick, but if you try to jump over to the next one and you land on that one, you're not going to have the proper balance on that stone. You're going to slip, bust your ass, and then go down the river, and you start all over.
Yeah.
Don't do that. So don't try to skip a step. Try to get through it, but you have to stay obsessed with, I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. And so there's a jet that just flew by our building here at Dawson Manufacturing over by BWI Airport, 899 Airport Park Road, Suite E. If you want to come by and see us, please do. Just let us know you're coming. That's always greatly appreciated.
Doors open.
And if you want to send gifts, send it to 899 Airport Park Road, Suite E. But just a second ago, a private jet just flew by. And I'm not an aviation guy. Like, I like guns, but I'm not a gun guy.
Yeah.
I like aviation, but I'm not an aviation guy. I have a respect for it all. I can hang in conversations. I enjoy it. I know enough about it to carry on a conversation, but I'm not like the foremost expert.
Yeah.
But here's what I do know. I want one, and I don't necessarily mean I want to own one, but I'd like to at least lease time on a private jet when I want to, when I get to that point in my life. I feel like I'm within 5 years of it. And when I say obsessed, I am so obsessed with that vision that it's on my dream board. So that's the very basics of it all.
So I know you and I talk about, you can smell the leather, you know the sound that the steps are going to make when you go up it. Mm-hmm. What's the plane?
G4.
G4?
Mm-hmm. It's a Gulfstream. So I know how many steps there are to get into it. I know what the wooden cabinetry is going to look in there. I know what the female, what is it, hostess or whatever, flight attendant, thank you, is going to look like basically on the plane. Like, I have all these things in my head that what I've been trained my entire life to do, because my father did this. He said, whatever you think about the most is what will become, because your brain will force its way to get to that point.
Thank you.
So you have to, when I say this obsession, I'm obsessed with not only the plane. I'm obsessed with where the destination is going to be, the ride quality of this jet, the vehicle that I pull up into it, the vehicle that picks me up from it, and where I'm about to go, what I'm about to do. Like, I can't wait to have my first major corporate, meeting where I fly some of my team to go meet with these big corporate customers like a Brightview or a Yellowstone. Like, we're already doing business with those people, and as that relationship grows and cultivates, it's going to get stronger and stronger and stronger.
That goes also back to, like, us taking care of our vendors and our customers. Like, you want to be able to say, hey, like, we're coming in, we're going to do this, and this is how this meeting's going to go. This is, what we need to talk about. And if you have any questions, kind of come from there. But it's all about taking care of us and them.
Exactly. And having a structured plan and being obsessed with getting every little detail right. I'll give you another great example. The booth in Kentucky at our trade show. I am obsessed with every freaking detail.
Yeah,
and it drives everybody nuts.
To put into perspective to everybody, when we get there and we set up the mowers, if the mowers are 3 inches off of where he pictured it, we move it to that 3 inches.
We did that with the DMT this year. Remember, we all picked the trailer up?
That was also part of safety, but yes, that was
a lot.
Do we have the video of that still?
I do.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
that was funny.
Yeah, so, like, literally, guys, when I'm talking about editing videos, I am so obsessed with getting them right. Now, here is the bad thing. If you're not fully in control of this obsession, it will overtake you and then will transfer from obsession to paralysis by analysis.
Yes, and I have succumbed to that multiple times, so it happens to everybody.
It's easy. I've done it, and you have to understand. You have to be very aware and conscious that it can overtake you, and then you're going to call it ADHD. You're going to call it I'm tired. You're going to call it, it's not perfect. I just want to be perfect. Or here's the one excuse I hear in the shop, and my people say it to me, and I freaking swear to God I can't stand it, is when they come to me and they go, well, I'm asking you because I want to make sure it's done the way you want it to be done. You already know. You know in your heart that what you're asking me is wrong, and you do know the right answer to it.
Yeah.
So don't do that. Just do it right. The reason people don't do things right is because they're freaking lazy, and they just go, well, I just want to be done. Okay, fine. And guess what? The other person that's going to do that job is going to do it better than you, and they're going to take all your work.
Yeah.
So don't do that.
To give an example, like this is something I did, and I know I did, and everybody called me out on it. And I know exactly what I should have done, but in my head, I was going, okay, this will be quicker for me to ask than to do what we were saying to do. So when it came to doing the blades on the mower to get them off for the show, I just went to Nick and said, hey, is it 5/16 or 1 inch versus grabbing the 5/16 or 1 inch wrench and impact? I just went and asked. And obviously, yeah, it was one of those, hey, dumbass moments. But in my head, it saved me time to go ask him versus when he said just grab what you need and interchange it. It would have taken me less time, and I know it would have taken me less time.
What the bigger thing that you lost in that moment is the ability to just figure it out.
Yeah.
Like that, too many people just want to get to the answer too quickly. It's like school. They just want the answer and move on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem with the schooling system now, is that it's developed in a way that memorize this, take this test, pass this test, move on.
The problem is that I think that drives too much into this quote-unquote Amazon era that we're in.
It is.
Is that if you can get the answer immediately and do it now, like, granted, there's a part to be said of doing it now, but if you get that answer so easily without having to actually figure it out,
Mm-hmm.
you're not learning anything.
You've learned nothing. And so, okay, that's where I'm going to go back to, like with me. What I see is when I need to do something and I don't want, okay, I'll give you a great, for instance, painting or doing the body work on my Audi. Okay. I know I can do it. I don't do it because I don't have the facility. But what most people do is they run into a situation that's too hard and they're like, I can't figure this out. I'm just going to pay somebody to do it.
Yeah.
Right. And what they're really missing out on is the opportunity for them to hone their skills to become more valuable. And the reason people get paid is because they are the professional at whatever it is they do. They know it better than anybody else, and they're able to get that job done in a timely fashion correctly that'll last a long time.
Yeah.
The reason people buy Mulchmates is because they're buying my experience. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're buying my ability to create a product that's going to last for a very long time, to do the job that we say it can do, and then we can repeatedly do this over and over and over again with the team that has been put together, that has structure in our facility, that has all the part numbering systems, the parts department, the quality control checks, the proper powder coating, the proper shipping, and the proper support. They're not buying a Mulchmate.
Yeah.
They're buying the brand, the control, the experience.
Because it's not just the product that comes with it. There's a team backing it, and there's
Correct.
you put your heart and soul behind those machines, and if there is a problem and you know a way to fix it, we find a way to fix it.
I'm telling you, I'm not afraid to admit it. I have broken down into tears, I could tell you many times, trying to figure this thing out.
Yeah.
Because it was this mythical unicorn that, I could have cut so many corners. There were so many people telling me, dude, it doesn't have to be that good. You're being obsessive. Stop. You're too much.
It goes back to one of the podcasts we did recently is do it right the first time. Otherwise, you're having to redo it, and then the time and money. So put it into this sense of, say you do something where you cut a corner on a part. So that means you took the time where you could have a failure. Say it does fail. Now that it has failed, you have put the time and effort, money, energy, everything into that part. Now you have to come back, redo it. So that's more time, energy,
Yep.
and effort that goes into redoing it. And then now you have to make sure you do it right, where you could have just done it right in the first place. You wouldn't have had the failure, and everything would have been good in the first place. So it's a multiplicative effect if you do it wrong versus if you do it right, and it multiplies in a good way.
Yeah, and it's going to seem, while you're doing it right, doing something right isn't special.
Yeah.
It really isn't. What's special is doing it right over and over and over and over again. That is where the men get separated from the boys.
It's like doing the right thing in general. So if like
when no one's looking.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
That's being a good Samaritan, helping somebody cross the street. If you see somebody drop something, helping them pick it up. You know, I can't tell you how many times that I've seen somebody drop something and be like, oh, here, let me give you a hand.
How many times I've picked up trash out of parking lots?
Yeah.
All the time. I did it at Lowe's over the weekend. I was like,
dude, you'd been proud of me. I saw something on the street at my parents' house this week, and my first thing I did is I had stuff in my hand, so I walked past it. I noticed it, but on my way back, I picked it up and threw it in the trash. Nice. I was like, God damn it. As soon as it happened, I'm like, Nick would kill me. Now, granted, my father would do the same thing, but I was just like, if I did that around the shop, my ass would have been paste.
Oh, I can't stand it. And the thing is, it is a decision to just walk by that trash.
Yeah.
You're deciding to be a douchebag and not be a good contributing. I went to...
and don't say you didn't see it, because our heads are down anyway looking at our phones. So
No,
your head is naturally sitting down. Now, there's one thing I have practiced lately is keeping my head up. Part of the being obsessive is I try to keep my head up.
Well, being mentally aware of your posture is huge. I don't know if you ever notice when I stand shoulders back, head up.
Yeah.
I have done that for years. I literally have people talk to me all the time like, you have really great posture. I'm like, because I'm paying attention. I'm being obsessive. I'm every little thing that I can do to become better, I'm doing it because it costs me nothing. It just costs a simple decision. Stop being a lazy fuck.
So you want to know something weird? I don't know. I didn't judge Caleb Allman for this, but I noticed it. Is anywhere I've seen him like speaking, he always has a backpack on. A backpack helps me mentally hold my posture to keep me up.
I don't know. I can't say I pay attention.
And I'm not saying it's a crutch. It's just it's an instinctive thing for me. So there doesn't have to be anything in it. But when I wear a backpack, now that you bring that up, I always keep my back straight with a backpack on my back.
I put my arms back right now. Mm-hmm. Notice it's been there a lot. That helps me keep my posture. I always put my arms behind my back.
Yeah,
just to kind of just pull everything back. Notice my Caleb Allman? I like the guy.
I love Caleb Allman.
Don't get me wrong. He doesn't look you in the eye enough. And it, like when he was here doing his podcast, he wouldn't look at me. Or like he was running through the shop filming with his little GoPro or something, and he just wouldn't look at me. And I'm like, why aren't you looking at me? I don't understand. Like, he must be fighting something internally, some kind of something that maybe from his past, or he feels like people are judging him or something. Like, we're not judging you, dude. Like, you're cool. You're good.
Yeah.
Your wife's cool. You're cool. I don't know your kids, but it seems cool.
I just noticed it the other day because something popped up on Instagram. I was like, he has a book bag on fairly often. Huh. And it was when I think they were at LAL, and he was like behind one of the signs talking to Paul or something. And I noticed it, and I was like, I noticed when he wears it, his posture is much stronger. And I don't know. I do the same thing.
Interesting. I don't know. Nice guy. And anybody that doesn't know who Caleb Allman is, the Allmans, I think they're out of Ohio.
Yes.
They own a hardscape company. They have something called Hardscape Academy. Really good folks.
Love his new facility.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, I don't.
Barn Dominium style though, but
Yeah, no, it's cool. Really, really nice folks. Anyway, so getting back to being obsessed, you've got to take it. You've got to take it to the crazy level. When you take it to the crazy level, what you'll notice is people will start paying attention and they'll start telling you. They're like, dude, I saw you did this, or I saw like my Audi, for instance, right? When I showed up in Kentucky, that's all anybody wanted to talk to me was about the Audi.
Yeah.
And
if people are saying you're being obsessive, it's a compliment.
It is a compliment. It really is. And, now like I'm obsessed with getting the car done, but also like the shop. Have you noticed how clean my garage is? Have you seen some of the pictures?
I saw a close up, but it was like right up against your fender, so I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Well, I've got lighting in there now, and I've got everything cleaned up, and I keep it swept. There's a heater. I am obsessed with getting it right. I'm obsessed with keeping my cars clean inside and out. I know right now my bed's made, my kids' beds are made, my bathroom's put together, the curtain's shut, like every little detail of my life. I try really hard to get it perfect. Like no one's ever perfect. Don't get me wrong. And my wife has she says this every once in a while to me, and I don't understand it. But she's like, "Why does everything have to be perfect?" And it's not. Nothing's perfect. First off,
Yeah.
dear, if you're listening, I'm not trying to be. I'm trying to be perfect, but I'll never be that.
Yeah.
I know I won't be that. But let me tell you something. If you they say shoot for the stars, right? If you shoot for a $500 million company and you only get to 50 million or 100 million, still think that's pretty much a win. That's a win. So that's where I'm at. I'm shooting huge, and I'm obsessive about it. And everything I do and every moment I have, I give every bit I have. Just the tone of my voice. Like my tone of voice typically is like down here. But when I talk on the podcast, I'm like rared up. Let's go. Come on. That's me being obsessive about what I'm doing. I'm giving you a lot. I don't know if you know this or not. I don't know if I've told you this. When I speak, I learned how to speak from like deep in my chest. And when I learned how to do that, it will almost take the wind out of me. I've talked so much before that I start to get lightheaded because I'm pumping so much air in and out of me so fast. And it's because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show people that I am obsessed with what I'm talking about. I'm engaged in what we're talking about. I'm invested in what we're talking about, and I'm giving all of my being to that.
Yeah.
I've literally driven down the road talking to my old man, and I'm like, dude, I think I might pass out. And I like pull over and stop because I'm hyperventilating. I'm talking so fast and so much, and I'm so passionate. I'm obsessed about what I'm doing, and let's go. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, if you've never felt that, level up, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, try harder.
Be obsessive.
When I'm literally passing out from talking so strongly, I'm giving a lot. So that's my take on. Give me your take on the obsession, like maybe what you've learned, experienced, tested. Give me your view on that.
So like I've said, I want to have your dad on this because we had some good conversations, and I feel like he would have some pretty cool inputs too. But I can tell you where I've gone wrong and where things have become right again is that when I was running the company 2001, no, not 2021, sorry. 2021, it was the first time I hit over six figures, and I was very happy. I felt very accomplished. 22 hit, and then I ended up having somebody on full time, and I flatlined. I didn't become obsessive with hitting this next goal. I was like, cool, I've got this, I've got a teammate, I got somebody to help me out and take the load off of me, and I can go do this X, Y, and Z. And I never committed to it. I never committed to lining up those extra jobs, there's that extra work. We went through, let's say, June, and we were doing really good. June hit, nosedive. Because we hit a drought, and I didn't pick back up. I didn't hit that next echelon of doing more. I didn't dig when I should have dug, versus now where I wake up in the mornings and I'm not so ingrained in what I have to do. I mean, granted I am, but I'm excited. I'm obsessed with coming into work and figuring out how to get the Shopify stuff going, how to get marketing going. You and I bash ideas back and forward, and this will be a quick little leak of what we want to do of our little car show that we want to get into.
It's going to be big.
I'm passionate about having the ability to meet new people, the ability to have my friends come down, because I've got a lot of friends that enjoy vehicles. Matt, definitely one of them. His favorite vehicle that he wants to get one day, and I told him if I ever had the ability and he didn't, and I could run it past Chloe, I want to get him a 63 split window. I would love to get my dad a 440. Those would be my wants and needs.
But see, if you keep all that directly front of mind all the time, you're going to blink one day and you're going to have it.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like, I'm like, I can wake up in the morning and I hear the birds chirp. And it's the one thing I try to focus on every morning is if I hear the birds chirp, it's going to be a good day. And then I get after it. And
well, that's because, not to interrupt you, but that's because, guys, and keep your thought, that's because your mind isn't so focused so narrowly. It's wide open.
Yeah.
So you're taking it all in, baby, and that's what you need.
And I'm hyper focused on how to build this and how to build the landscape company again, but do it the right way, where I actually have systems and contracts in place. Like I had a estimate this weekend that I took Maylin with me. Cause like I need some extra sleep, so I took Maylin. We went down. It's a really, really good neighborhood in Severna Park. I mean, really good homes in there.
Where is it?
3-4 million. It's back off of Old Benfield. I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
But I went back there, and I have one client back there, and the neighbor contacted and said, look, you do amazing work. I would like you to have you to do all this during the season. Let me know. I'm like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to tell you the rough dates that we're going to do the work in.
Yeah.
You know, they want aeration and seeding. I said it's going to be the last weekend in September because that's going to be the weekend I allocate it. And if there's rain on that weekend, I will do it the weekend before, the weekend after.
That's full control of expectations.
Exactly. So I'm controlling the expectation. I'm controlling myself. I am controlling my schedule for my life to be able to give to Maylin and Chloe, because this year I am absolutely not working weekends unless I plan it. You know, because I want to have that time with them. I want to take Maylin out on the boat this year more often. I want to go crabbing with my father.
You need to do those things.
Yeah. So, well, yeah. But it's the obsession of having the ability and the control of my life for the next year.
That's right.
You know, and also putting the money away so that we can get into a nice home for us. And it doesn't, her and I aren't looking for this massive mansion. We do not want that. We want a little bit of land. We want up to an acre, a little bit more. But I really, all I want is a split level rancher. Not a split level, but I want a rancher, nice front floor. And then I always call it a split level because there's the rancher, you have a basement, and that comes out onto your main
that's a
level.
walkout. That's a walkout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I call it a split level, but
it's not a split
that's
level.
just what I.
Yeah. Split level is when you come inside and you have like half a stairwell up and half a stairwell down.
Yeah, I hate those.
I freaking hate them. And that's all Severna Park has in them.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, barf.
But I want it to be like a barndominium style outdoor, and then have a nice patio out back where we can have bonfires. You know, the kids can run around out back. If our friends have dogs, bring the dogs over, let them run around. They can come inside, all that. So
check this out. Look at that place.
Yeah.
That's not a barndominium, but I'll show Kyle a picture.
It's like a, what do they call those?
This to me is a U-Stall style home. So it's a lot of wood, a lot of kind of more like Craftsman style.
Wooden beams with the Craftsman style blend.
Love it.
But like that's
so nice.
That's the aesthetic that we're looking for.
Like that for me, send it. Bring it.
I would take that 100%.
So
have garage space.
I'm looking at a 2-car garage, black and white building, some nice wooden beams, but big parking area and a nice piece of property.
Yeah.
I mean,
that would be perfect for us.
Dreamland, dude.
You know,
dreamland.
And like I've told Claire, I'm like, it doesn't have to be super expensive. If we get it and we take the next 4 or 5 years, put money away, and then we make it our home,
hell yeah,
we do that. If it has good bones, let's work with the good bones.
Absolutely.
You know, but give it so that we have the ability to grow our family, you know, because her and I are talking like we want 2 kids. We want, you know, if we have a third, cool. It's not going to be like that's going to be a massive detriment to us.
Right.
You know, but we want to be able to grow our family strong, healthy, together, you know, and go from there. And those are the things I'm obsessed with.
Yeah, no, those are great. And see, you have to keep those very much front of mind because as you grow, you'll start checking off box by box by box by box. And next thing, like, I don't know how I did half of what I did when I did it. And I look back, I remember before I started Dawson Manufacturing, before Mulch ever came to me, there had been, like, I always look for these big checkpoints.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always like, okay, you know, what's the next big thing I'm going to do? And I don't know entirely what it's going to be when it comes, but I always keep a very open mind to it. And I'm like, all right, you know, first it was starting a landscape company, racing career, rebuilt a 64.5 Mustang, built a 69 Mustang, built a GTM supercar, you know, built a pavilion, built a 1,500 square foot race shop. And then a lull had come, and then I bought the Shelby Super Snake, and then like all those things to me were things that were so mythical unicorn opportunities for me. I'm just going through like a real quick list. Getting married, having kids, like I couldn't believe I was doing all of it when I was doing it. And buying race cars. And then a period of time had gone by, and I'm like, man, is anything gonna like crazy gonna happen to me ever again? Like I started worrying about it. And I was trying. I had all these dreams, but these things weren't working out. And then next thing I knew, one day I'm sitting at Park Tavern, and the Mulchmate idea hit me. And I remember we came up with a saying around here called "fail faster," because we were developing Mulchmate. And I remember the first couple months, it was just like drawings, and that was about it.
Yeah.
And then I got really pissed off because I was like, here it is again. I got another idea where I'm going to let this squander. And I didn't. So, okay. Truth be told, I had I wanted to do themed dog treat company. I had this vision of making my own blue jeans called ballroom jeans.
Yeah.
Like dancing in a ballroom, but it was really a play on words, like for men. Give you a little bit more room down yonder, you know what I'm saying, down south. But I had this design. I bought some blue jeans, and I was cutting them apart, and I was trying to figure out that. And then what stopped that idea was the amount of inventory I would need and how big that would have to get. There wasn't enough money. I'd have to
you either had to sell it at a super high price or in massive volume.
Yeah, and there's a company that does blue jeans, and they sell. I can't remember the name of the company off the top of my head, but they're like $400. Like,
Origin's one of those. I like Origin.
I'm not thinking of Origin. There's something else. Either way, and then the dog treat toys. The dog treats. I was gonna do like shotgun shells and things that looked like actually looked like it was gonna be an all organic baked product that dogs could eat, and like hunters would buy it for their dogs, and then I also have all kinds of different versions. But then I got to thinking about it. I'm like, do you understand how many boxes of dog treats I'd have to sell to make $1 million?
Yeah.
That was, for me, the thing that stopped me. And then when Mulchmate hit me, I'm like, hold the phone. If I sold 30 Mulchmates, I'd make $1 million. Or it was like 32, whatever it was at the beginning. I can't remember exactly what it was at the beginning, but it was like 30, 35, somewhere in between that number. And I'm like, how many landscape companies are in this country? Well, there's 640,000 tax-paying landscape companies in this country.
Yeah.
There's a lot out there that aren't paying any taxes, that aren't registered. I can still sell to them, whatever. So I'm like, okay, there's my customer base. All right, how many yards of mulch go down every year? And I looked at the state of Maryland goes through between 9 and 10 million yards every year. And we're a teeny tiny little state.
Yeah.
What does Ohio go through?
A lot.
100 million? Like way more than us.
Well, that and you have PA and like
Kentucky,
all these states that like
Tennessee.
literally around us.
Oh, and they're massive compared to us. Virginia, North Carolina, Florida, the top dressing community.
Yeah, top dressing's big in Florida.
Huge. Texas, it's growing. I know my main command is a kind of compost that the majority of my customers run, and they're selling all the way up into like northern North Carolina.
Yeah.
So they're covering a huge area. So anyway, I got to looking at Mulchmate, and I'm like, holy shit. I could make $1 million only selling 30 machines. What if I sold 400, 500, 600 of them? Like,
yeah.
What is the actual math? I can't remember the math on top of my head. I did all this math years ago, but
God,
what?
The amount of blapping that would go on for 400 Mulchmates.
Oh my God.
We would all be deaf.
So if you do 2,000 Mulchmates at $35,000 a piece, it's 70. I'm counting the zeros. 1, 2, 3. $70 million if you did 2,000 Mulchmates. I mean, dude, if you think about how many mowers.
There's your 8+.
Oh yeah, no, we're 8 figures now. That's 9, right? That's 8. That's the high end of the 8 figures, but that's only Mulchmate, and that's not including
Snowmate,
switch and go containers, DMTs, leaf cap, and then you go into our little products, our Cartmates, our Snowmates, the Power Packs, the heated hand grips, all the Hitchmates, the LED lighting, the light pods. You start stacking all that up. Because all those products sell at all different types of the year, times of the year. You start stacking all these obsessive things that I had done to then, because Mulchmate has a main season. It sells all year long, but it has a big time in the spring.
Yeah.
So then I was like, all right, how do I grow the company? And so it's like, okay, Cartmates will sell throughout the summer, which they do. They just don't sell in the wintertime. Like right now, Cartmates only sell during sales. Totally fine, get it, no big deal, smart, I get it. Well, then, okay, what can we sell this time of year? Okay, now the snowplow. Well, what can we sell? How do we sell a lot? Well, you make it the cheapest. I shouldn't say cheapest. the best value and fix a problem that we all have that no one's fixed. And that's what we did. We created a very tiny little snowplow that does walkways. And now people can do walkways with the current equipment they already have. And so this is a multiplier. Multiply. And all that comes from my obsessiveness over business and helping the community and investing all I've got into y'all, everybody that's listening to this and then beyond, right? Because the landscapers that are listening, I'm helping y'all. I'm doing everything I can to give you products and knowledge to help grow your business. You people that are listening that aren't landscapers, you people are basically the consumers of our landscapers. So now I'm able to get my customers onto your property and off your property cleaner, faster, and easier and quieter.
Exactly.
Win, all the way down. And that is only Mulchmate can deliver that. Any of our competitors, they can't deliver quiet. They can't deliver it as fast as us. They can't deliver the amount of volume that we can, and you can't deliver it in a compact size that we can. We are by far the best product in our space. Period. No one covers everything that we cover.
Industry leading.
We are the industry standard, and we are the industry leaders in this sector. Mowers, we're nowhere near that. That's not even our thing.
Yeah.
Now we have accessories for them, and truth be told, I want to paint this picture for everybody. We talked a little bit about this earlier. Detach is a company up in Rhode Island.
Couldn't tell you.
It's up north somewhere. I've seen them. They're great people. Artie and Kat are the owners of them, husband and wife. Great little company. They started with this like hitch receiver, and they started doing like the Thatchers and this barrel. They've got a couple products out there. I own them. They're great. I love the products. I love the family. I love everything about them. Here's what I want to make sure that everyone understands and we're totally clear on. We developed CartMate first before anybody came up with carts, and it was meant to get material from our Mulchmate for our customers, from it to its final resting place as fast as we possibly could, utilizing the hitch receiver that Artie came up with. Okay, I didn't come up with that. I want to make sure that anybody listens to this. I don't want people thinking that I'm taking credit for something. I'm not. I just wanted to piggyback off something he already did. No way in shape or form I was trying to be his competitor at all. And then we came up, once we had that, then it was like, okay, the problem that I ran into was Artie didn't have all the different hitch receivers for all the different mowers, and some of the ones he had weren't strong enough for our carts. Our carts are bigger, heavier duty than anything he had ever made. So what he had made for his sector was perfect. Good for him. I hope he has a great business. I hope he does great. I do not in any way, shape, or form think that he should stop or am I feeling like I should be a competitor. I don't want to be that. That's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to make sure the CartMate has everything it needs to sell to everybody possible.
Exactly.
That's what I'm after. Then once I had to develop these hitches for the front of these mowers that Artie hadn't done yet, I said, okay, I've just invested tens of thousands of dollars in this HitchMate line and putting it on the website and inventorying it, boxing it, and all this stuff. I need to make more money in the wintertime. We came up with a SnowMate. Okay. We were the first ones to market with a snowplow that universally fit our receiver and Artie's receiver.
Yeah.
Period. A year later, he came up with a plow, and then somehow or another said that we were like stepping on his toes somehow. I had no idea he had a plow he was working on in the background. Whatever, to each his own. I'm not going to tell you if his design is good or bad or otherwise. I'm telling you that ours is the most commercialized, lightest, cheapest, best plow for sidewalks.
And you can have it in a manual version or a automated version.
Exactly. So you can have it for...
So you have options.
$1,100, or you can... It's an a la carte options list. And for you guys that don't know what a la carte is, Google it. Just talk into your phone. But basically it means you could take a SnowMate and put a winglet set on it, making it from 36 inches to 52 inches wide. And that's it. You don't have to have the power pack.
Yeah.
You can add the light in just the plow, or you can add just the markers in just the plow. You can option up that fits you. I was never trying to compete with Artie or Cat and Detach. I'm giving them a shameless plug here because I like them. And I never once was ever thinking, I'm going to take them out. I'm going to go after them. I came up with a plow first.
Yeah.
Like, I got it to market before they did. They may have been working on it for years.
Well,
they didn't bring it
out
to
for,
market.
3 years now? Almost?
SnowMate? 3 years, I think. Yeah, something like that. And ours is smaller than theirs. It's not as tall. And I did it because I believe that you can overload a mower at some point. Of course you can at some point. I think the versions they use, first off, they don't make it 100%. They buy parts from people. We make the plastic. We make the metal. The only thing we don't buy is the actuator, or we don't make is the actual actuator. And no one's going to make an actuator like themselves. They're going to buy it from a company. So, love them. If you guys want to go buy their products, go buy them. I think they've got some good stuff. I think like their leaf plow and all right now currently is probably the best leaf plow on the market. But we were obsessive over our business in delivering a complete turnkey package for our customers, and we did it the way we did it. And then it bled into, okay, now you're plowing at night, so we need lights. So we developed the light pods and the heated hand grips and blah, blah, blah. So that's how we got here. And the reason we got here is because I was so obsessed with this vision I had, I don't know, a decade ago, something like that now. And I wanted to give the absolute best I could give to you guys. And that was through my crazy, obsessive, psychotic ways.
And ideas.
Yeah, they're good. I think they've worked out well.
Cool.
Is that it?
I like it.
All right, guys.
Be obsessive.
I'm going to let Kyle close this out because I've talked way too much.
Oh, that's so much pressure. All right, guys. Check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, the whole nine. Dawson MFG, Mulchmate USA. Check us out. We also have our online coaching program that Nick is coaching everybody with. Links will be in the description below. And then if you have comments, questions, concerns, anything of the above, shoot us a message or email at heyfastlane@gmail.com.
HEY.
HEY, baby. Cool. Can we get a Mulchmate?
Mulchmate.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
Love you guys. See you later.
See you. Bye.